Hi guys, Reverend from Reverend Consultancy and the International Metaphysical Ministry. So, I've got a few things to chat about. There's been a lot going on for me. And actually these video posts at the moment, yes, are very much about me. And that's because I want you to actually know my background, or some of my background, so that you can gauge what I'm like to work with, and that, so that I can demonstrate that there are reverends, most reverends, regardless of faith background, all have issues, and what we do to get over those issues, through those issues, how we work, through prayer, meditation, things like that. So, as you would know, I've got a twin flame. Actually, I've got a twin flame and a soulmate. So my twin flame, his name's Mark with a C, and he's a younger version. We're both yin and yang, so we're opposite. We're actually yin-yang twins. That's right, yin-yang twin flames. And so we're about the same height, slightly taller than me. He has long blonde curly hair, and I usually sport a shaved head, dark hair, and we've both got green eyes, and our bottom teeth are the same, and we have similar markings on our bodies, similar shaped bodies. We're opposites of each other, yet we're alike at the same time. He's very much a feminine energy in certain ways, and I'm a masculine energy in certain ways, but mentally he's very masculine, very reserved. He has a degree in mathematics, statistics. I have a degree in metaphysics, and I'm very much the spiritualist. He's Buddhist. I'm very much a Christian, but we're both together, universal. So we believe that people have the right to make their own choices and decisions about what they believe in, and we're very much East and West coming together. But actually, both of us identify in certain ways with other things as well. So we have our own individual things that we identify with, as well as collective things that we identify with. And for me, I'm not speaking for him, but for me, I'm actually bisexual. So, I'm very much enjoy my connections with women, okay? And I'm at a point in my life where I want to have children. So, this is big news, actually. So, my house is I'm due to settle on this house, actually, on Tuesday. So it's getting closer and closer and closer, which is great. And I'm going to spend some time with Mark, just bonding, connecting. I'm doing what us twin flames do before I go, because actually I am going to America. I told you, my soulmate's out there. She knows exactly who she is. I'm coming out to America. I told you I would. I'm keeping my promise. Okay? So I'm coming out for 6 weeks to America. While I'm in America, I'll be going to the International Metaphysical Ministry convention, okay? And I think it's 7 days, 5 to 7 days of actual spiritual talks and workshops and all sorts of things. I am very much focusing on my ministry, okay? And moving forward, I've got a lot of study that I need to do. Funny thing is that, Mark, let's call him Marcie, numerology is better. Marcie and Chris, we're going in similar directions. Although I'm doing Eastern psychology and metaphysics from a Christian point of view, he's actually very mathematical, and he's actually going to go and study psychology. So he's decided that he's got 4 years that he wants to go and study psychology, perhaps 6 years, if he does a master's, and then he'll be a psychologist. So we're gonna bring our work together at some point. Hopefully, we'll bring our work together. But I'm sort of preparing the way, leading the way for him, working things out so that it'll be easier for him to do that, because both of us mentally have the same sort of issues as each other. And so yeah, I'm the forerunner. I'm the devil, yes, in a way. I'm the naughty one. He's the good one, okay? But I'm not the dragon or anything like that. So there's nothing for you to be nervous about, okay? We don't relate to that ideology at all, okay? So I'm going away. I'm going away for 6 weeks to America. I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to LA. I'm going to Anaheim. I'm going to Sedona, Arizona for the International Metaphysical Ministry convention, which is part of my work. I have to do that. And then I'm going to Las Vegas. And then I'm going to New York. And then I'm going to San Francisco. And then I'm coming home. So yeah, big trip. Big trip, 6 weeks. First trip on my own. This is a step that I need to take. It's taken me to the age of 40 to be able to do that. And everybody, moves at different points and different progressions, different speeds. Some people do take a big step like that when they're 18, but, for me, it's taken to 40 to be able to do that. When I get back, unlike Marcie, who's doing a 4-year degree, I'm doing actually 3 diplomas and a master's and a doctorate in that 4-year period. So I'm doing a dual diploma in business and management and leadership. And I'm doing a diploma in mainstream counselling through the Australian Institute of Professional Counsellors, which I need to do to get accreditation as a counsellor in Australia. But then I'm doing my master's in metaphysics and my doctorate in metaphysical counselling. And then after that, I'll probably move on and do more study with the ministry. I'm thinking of doing a second doctorate in theocentric psychology, which is God-centered psychology, very much from an Eastern point of view. So it's taking my degree and my master's and my doctorate to a whole new paradigm, a higher level of understanding. So it's a progression, and it's something that I feel very strongly about. I have very, very strong need for social justice. If people say, well, you've danced your whole life, wouldn't you go back to a career in dance? Well, I think there will be opportunities. I feel that there will be opportunities for me to dance in the future, but that's not my career. That's something I do for fun and enjoyment. And that's something that I do because it's a form of worship for me, actually, dancing. And being a natural-born shaman as well. That's something that I enjoy doing. It's not something that I do actually as a career to make money, like a job type thing. My vocation is actually my ministry, which is my 7 life path. As a 777 in numerology, I'm very much the seeker, very much very much the teacher, in a way, the light, the guide, things like that. But actually in the major arcana in the tarot, the 7 is actually the charioteer. So that means that my life purpose is to actually balance positive and negative polarities, to drive things forward, to help civilization to move forward, to progress. So if you look at the tarot, one of the horses is a dark horse and one of them is a light horse, and that's very much represented through Marcie and I. We're like that, we're yin and yang. So actually I've got to use our energies together to drive us forward as twin flames, but also to actually help create change in the world. So that's where my ministry is at. My ministry is actually one of bringing Eastern philosophy and Western philosophies together in a tangible, practical and usable whole, where you're able to use these things, these tools, these methods, these insights that I receive through spirit to actually drive your life forward. So for example, I do use astrology. Yes, I do. I use actually the best astrology star mapping software that you can get on the market as part of my job. When you come and have a consultation with me, before you come and have a consultation with me, I will actually map your birth chart. I will actually do research into where you're at, where you're going, what you need to do, so that I can help you to make decisions about what to do, how to chart your life properly. But in the Bible, it actually says that God put stars in the sky for signs and wonders. And actually the 3 magi, or the 3 wise men, followed the Star of Bethlehem to find the birth of the Jews. So actually, according to Christianity, true Christianity, you can use astrology. It's not against God. Not at all. But then people turn it around and try to change things and try to change it. Okay? So, make of it what you will. Everybody has the right to believe whatever they want. But I believe that astrology and knowing your birth print, the stars in the sky above where you're born at the time you're born, it's different for everyone, is a very good way, when combined to where the stars are now, to actually chart and map decisions about where you should be going in your life, what you should be doing. From everything from vocation, health, the kind of foods that you eat or drink, relationships, all those sorts of things can be mapped by astrology. True astrology. We're not talking about zodiacs in the Sunday paper here. We're talking about true astrology. Okay? It's an ancient science. It's been around for a long time. It has been proven by astrologers to work. Okay? For example, the last time I had an astrology report done, it predicted, that I was going to lose someone very close to me at a particular time of year. That happened last year. Actually, it happened at the end of August when it said that it was going to happen. So, things, it's can be very, very accurate when used properly, and it can be a very, very strong tool to guide you in the right direction. So when you come and have a consultancy session with me, I look at all of your charts. I ask you on the phone before you come, what is it that you're wanting to do, so that I can go do the research. I will have the charts printed up for you. If it's over the phone, I actually email you those charts and that information, those reports, so that you can read through it, you can keep it, you can look at it, you can make the decision with what you want to do with that information. Of course, the choice is yours, whether you take it on board or not. Usually, it will resonate with most people because they'll read it and go, yes, that is me, yes, that is me, yes, that is me. And you'll be surprised, actually, how accurate these reports are. They're definitely worth the money. Having a session with me is not cheap, I must say, okay? It's $150 an hour, okay? But you get a lot out of that. You get numerology reports, for example. In numerology, my name and Marcie's name actually contain each other's birthdays. So his numerology for his name, Marcie, and his surname, I'm not going to say that for his own privacy, is 7, 22 master number, second master vibration, master builder, and 11. I'm born on 7/11. My numerology is 4, which is his month of birth, 22 master builder, second vibration master number, and 8, but that top number, we can't have a 26. It has to be a single digit or a master number. So we add the 2 and the 6 together and we get 8. So we actually contain each other's birthdays in our numerology. That is no coincidence. That proves that we are who we say we are. Okay? Because the chances of that happening mathematically, according to our names, when we've never known each other, is very rare. Very, very rare. That's proof that through numerology, we're actually mirror image of each other. I've got his birth date at the top of mine. He's got my birth month at the top of his. I've got his birth month at the top of mine, at the bottom of mine. He's got my birthday at the bottom of his. See? So we're actually mirror image of each other. We're yin and yang. You can't take that away from us. Okay? That can't be changed. That's mathematical. The chances of that happening are 1 in a billion. We're talking about numbers here. So for example, if A is 1 and B is 2, and C is 3, and D is 4, and E is 5, and each letter in our name has a number attributed to that, and we work out the calculations by adding all those numbers together to get one number, adding all the vowels together to get one number, adding all the consonants together to get one number, 3 different numbers. What's the chances of that happening? Sorry. That's who we are. My soulmate knows that. She's happy about that. She's happy to have him included in our life because he's my other half. In a sense, spiritually, we're 2 sides to one coin. So any woman that's going to be in a relationship with me, of course, is naturally going to think, well, I want to include your twin flame, your twins. What we make of that in our house is up to us. No one needs to know that. But I'm just letting you in on that. The twin flames are like that. They do operate on that level. Does that mean we're going to have sexual union? Probably not. Actually, no, we're not. Are we going to have intercourse? No, we're not. Not me and Marcie, no, we're not. Will we be affectionate towards each other beyond what most people would consider acceptable based on their paradigm, based on what they're programmed to believe? Probably, yeah. You will see us hugging in public. You will see us walking down the street holding hands. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Nothing at all, actually. We've got a bromance going on, okay? That's the way it works. We're bros, okay? That's it. I love him. I hold his hand. He's very young. He's 15 years younger than me. He needs, on a vibratory level, to receive love and affection. He's had a hard upbringing. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to give him what he needs. Because as most twin flames would know, by doing that, I'm actually loving myself at the same time. That's the way it works. When he upsets me, he actually soothes himself. He'll rub his arm. He'll self-soothe. Just unconsciously, he does that. And I'm like, don't self-soothe. It's fine. You haven't said anything wrong. It's all good. So this is the nature of a twin flame relationship. If you jump onto YouTube and you type in twin flame theory or twin flame reading, have your mind blown. Be a seeker. Go out. Find that information that you need. Okay, there's millions of us twin flames on the earth right now. Millions and millions. But there's actually, what Marcie and I have a very rare combination. Very rare combination because we're yin and yang twins. Okay? There's a lot of identical twins out there. And there's a lot of fraternal twins, but there aren't that many yin-yang twins. We're literally yin-yang. One of us is west, the other one's east. One of us is Buddhist, one of us is Christian. But in our ministry, one of us is mathematical, the other one's creative. One of us is dark hair, the other one's blonde hair. Both green eyes. Same bottom teeth. Similar bodies. Similar markings. I'm the forerunner. All twin flames know this, that there's a forerunner. One that's born earlier that actually prepares the way for the younger one. That can happen within a few years. For us, it took 15 years because of the anointing on Mark's life. On Mark's life, not on my life. The anointing on Mark's life. I had to go through certain things, certain steps to actually be prepared to actually guide him in the right direction so that he doesn't make the same pitfalls that I made. Because he's 24, remember? He's turning 25. So, it's very much about me preparing him for the anointing on his life because he's actually very important. In our mission together, he's very important. Okay, so, this is something that's important to me, and my soulmate knows that. She knows that. On a very fundamental level, she will get that, she'll understand that, because otherwise she wouldn't be my soulmate. That's the way it works. See, my soulmate would completely understand the connection. She'd completely understand the way we relate to each other. She wouldn't try to control the situation. She wouldn't try to manipulate the situation. She'd be completely okay with it. And she'd be like, yeah, you know what? I'm totally okay within myself, secure within myself, all right within myself. I don't feel threatened one little bit because I know Christopher's cool. Christopher is all mine in the way that he needs to be, and he's there for his twin flame in the way that he needs to be. And that's another unique combination too, because actually usually in twin flame relationships, they get together, they have sacred union, which you're being taught means that you have to actually have sexual union, and that's not true. Actually, that is a lie, because Mark and I, we don't have sexual union. Not at all. We have union, sacred union, we meditate together, we're firing off each other's kundalinis, we're activating each other, but we don't have sexual union. No. Not at all. I actually have that need that I, being a bi guy, and I'll be very open about that, I'm bisexual. I don't care if you're a Christian and you disagree with it, I'm telling you the truth, okay? That's the way it works. Some are born that way, some are created that way, some are changed that way. And I can point out every passage in the Bible that would disprove that actually homosexuals are going to go to hell, okay? That is a lie, and it's been used to prosecute, judge, and condemn a minority group for a really long time. And if it's not going to happen on my watch, I don't care who you are, okay? Right. The thing is this. Marcie and I feel a vibratory need in each other that is very healthy, and we do it in a very healthy way. That's not going to interfere with my relationship with my future wife or our family, and she knows that. And as long as she approves of that, it's no one else's business, but I am sharing this information because I want people out there that are twin flames to understand you don't have to have sexual union to be with your twin flame. You don't. Some of you will want that and you will have that, but you don't have to have that. You can actually be twin flames with someone and have sacred union. Give that person all the love, understanding, compassion, and energy that they need to actually help them to grow and to develop and to trigger them off into enlightenment without it becoming about intercourse, okay? And that's what's happened with Mark and I, right? Which is great. Because that means that actually I'm going to be able to stop him from falling into certain pitfalls, and he's going to be able to make sure that I stay on track in my relationship with my future wife. Okay? It's great. It's healthy. Very normal to have a bromance, actually. Very normal. Yeah, it's not in any way, and I'll probably get, slewed by the public for this. It's not in any way dirty or vulgar, or there's nothing overly sexual going on between Mark and I. It's just divine union and divine love. That's it. Okay? When it comes to my wife, that's another story, and that's something I'm not going to share. Okay? My future wife, that's our business. That's got nothing to do with you. Okay? But yes, I am the rebel reverend, and I am a man, and I do have needs. Okay? As all reverends do. See, that's a problem with the Catholic Church. They don't allow their priests to actually marry. And what's been happening for hundreds of years, they've been treating children like shit that have been getting abused. And I'm sorry, I don't accept that either. Maybe they should let priests marry. Maybe they should let these men actually have their needs fulfilled instead of suppressing them, And then there's the other angle as well. Exodus in the 80s and 90s, put out by the Pentecostal Church. Okay? How much psychological damage did they do to people of homosexual, nature? A lot. Some of those people are still in psych wards today and will never get out of psych wards based on the psychological damage that Exodus did to those people. Okay? That's why we now have churches like UFMCC, the United Fellowship of Metropolitan Community Churches, that look after, that steward and deal and minister to the GLBTIQ community. Okay? My ministry is slightly different. My ministry, I go into all different denominations, okay, because IMM, the International Metaphysical Ministry, although we are, majority of us Christian, we're a metaphysical ministry, so there are metaphysicians that do practice other faiths, and we actually look at all those other faiths to find spiritual truths. And actually, if you cannot find the truth in every single worldview, it means that either it's slightly been changed or misinterpreted. Okay, if you can find it in Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and every other faith, then it's a spiritual truth because the whole world knows that. But if it's just in Christianity or just in Islam, you need to question things and you need to think, why am I being told this and what does it mean for me? And be a seeker and go out and read through all different kinds of spiritual texts and understand that. So my ministry, I go into different organizations, I go into different churches, I see what's going on, I meet people, I fellowship with people, whether they're from the Sikh temple, or whether they're from a Muslim temple, or Jewish temple, or a Buddhist temple, or, a mosque, or whether they're from the Pentecostal church, the Anglican church, the Jehovah's Witness. I minister and actually talk to and fellowship with all people of all faiths. Okay? My ministry is a counseling ministry. It's not a church ministry. I'm not going to start a church. I don't need to. The churches are already out there. We have no need for more churches. We have need for people in the community that can actually know that they can come and see the Reverend and actually be given guidance and guidance on how to make decisions based on spirituality and what actually divine law according to all of those faiths are. See? That they know that they can come and be in my presence and be accepted and loved on and respected no matter what walk of life they're from, and actually that the Reverend will give them very sound, very just advice on how to move forward with their life based on the paradigm that they're currently living in. And if they want to change that paradigm, how to go about doing that in a very holistic, smooth way. So, when it comes to me and my life, I've had to learn that in the last 40 years. According to certain faiths, I've been in the desert for the last 40 years, wandering around the Sinai desert for 40 years. But you can learn a lot by wandering around in the Sinai desert for 40 years. You can learn heaps. I'm about to walk into my promised land. I've sold my house to a very decent person, actually. I'm glad I sold it to that person. Really, really glad. Really glad I sold it to that person. He's a really decent guy, and I know what he's going to do to this house. It won't be mine anymore, so it won't matter, but I know that it's going to be really nice. This house has blessed me tremendously. Since I moved into this house, which is an 11 in numerology, 119, 9, 10, 11, when you add those digits together. And I'm in my 11th year, which is all about mastery. See? And I'm in my 11th year of practicing Reiki, Universal Life Force. I learned heaps. I lost my best friend. I had a breakdown. I've been in and out of the psych ward. I'll admit that to you. You should know that. Ministers have breakdowns. Reverends have breakdowns. Priests have breakdowns. Buddhist monks have breakdowns. It's actually the universe breaking us down so that it can build us back up and build us back up into something new. That's very normal. It's very natural. 2 psychiatrists and a psychologist, clinical psychologist, and 2 social workers later, you just need to go into therapy. Yeah, you got a bit of trauma still. Yeah, I know that. I'm working on, I'm doing a doctorate in metaphysical counselling. I know that. I've got a lot of trauma. I'm not perfect. I've never declared myself to be perfect. I never will declare myself to be perfect. I'm human. I have lessons to learn. Okay? But I do know this. I've got a soulmate and I love her to bits. I've got a twin flame and I love him to bits. I also now, for the first time in my life, love me to bits. If you can't love yourself, how can you love anybody else? Thanks, RuPaul. You know, I think that at the end of the day, I'm about to go on a big, massive trip. I'm going to go to a convention in Sedona, Arizona. I'm going to meet other metaphysicians at the 60th anniversary of the IMM. I'm going to come back. I've got 4 years to actually get a lot of study finished, and then my twin flame and I are actually going to be, I'm already doing consultations now. Thank you so, so, so much for all of your time and energy over the years. Helen Hume, big shout out to you. You're an amazing, I love you for what you did for me. My parents, they're amazing. You know, people around here that have taught me hard lessons, but they're also amazing. Life can be great. You just got to step into it. You just have to step into it. It could be an amazing adventure. You just have to step into your power. Now, for me, the energy that I'm now moving into as a 40-year-old is very much an emperor archetype. I'm owning it. I'm claiming it. I have to, because my future soulmate knows that she's an emperor's energy. So yeah, I have to be able to match that. I have to be high frequency, high vibrational. Otherwise, there's it's not going to work. My Marcie, he's a king energy. He's about to turn 25. Usually you don't step into a king energy until 28 when you get your Saturn return, and you get your report card from the universe, but he can cope with it. He's stepping into a king energy this year. He's turning 25. He's doing well. So, and I'll start introducing you to him. He's got a lot of teachings, a lot of Buddhist teachings that he's going to share with you. Our ministry together, our East meets West ministry is going to be bringing a lot of people together. That's our journey. It's a balancing of negative and positive polarities. I'm not saying one's negative and the other's positive. I'm just saying that it's very much a balancing thing that's happening here. So I get back after the 30th of May. Please subscribe. I would love to keep you posted on what's going on. I am going to start using cards. I'm a certified angel card reader. I do angel card readings. They're $60. I'm pretty cheap, but that's okay. They're $60 for half an hour. Okay. I can do them over the phone. I'm not doing them until I get back after the 30th of May. I'm going to cut this really short at a 30 minute mark. So I've only got a few seconds to go. When I get back, I'm doing phone readings. I do them by Skype. I'll also be moving into doing astrology. I offer a whole heap of things with astrology, numerology reports. I'm doing a lot of consultancy. If you want consultancy, you want creative ideas, you want a dialogue, ideas for books, films, I channel all sorts of stuff. I've got a few celebrity clients. They know who they are. Thank you for allowing me to work with you early on in my life. That's changed me profoundly. That's set me up for who I am today. If you want material for stuff, projects that you're working on, I'm great at that. I'm very much a concepts person. So I can do creative consultancy. I have trained in contemporary arts, dance and drama. I do have a dance background, but that's not my career. It's just something I do for fun. And yes, I may get professional work and do it, but that's not where I'm at. Where I'm at is being a metaphysical consultant and a metaphysical counsellor and Rebel Reverend Chris Hawk, coming to a town near you in the USA, leaving on the 15th of April. Can't wait to see you. Hang in there. Life is fantastic. It can be amazing. You just have to step into it. Rebel Reverend Chris Hawk from the International Metaphysical Ministry and Rebel Reverend Consultancy. Love you out. Peace out. Have a great day. Ciao.